Good morning, everyone. Hope you guys had a great night's sleep. I hope you guys are fully rested because today is the day. Today is transfer deadline day. We have stories coming here, coming there, coming everywhere. So expect there to be multiple uploads today. So just make sure you have your bell notification buttons on and do yourself a favor in it. In today's video, we have some massive updates surrounding Dembele. I'll be discussing Frank Lampard's failure in capturing a certain Chelsea coach, as well as a youth player that was told that he's not allowed to leave in this window. I hope you guys enjoy. You already know how to smash that like button, and without wasting any more time, now let's start with things and let's discuss Everton's new managerial appointment in Frank Lampard. It seemed like Lampard's really impressed the Everton board with his deep analytical takes discussing areas of improvement in which he can help Everton get back to competing again. Already, the Lampard effect is in place. They beat off competition from Crystal Palace with the signing of Van der Beek on loan, the right type of box-to-box profile that Everton midfield just heavily needs. And I guess, is it really any surprise that if our former manager is signing to a new Premier League club, that he was going to come back to this club and try to hire some of his boys to become part of his new backroom staff? It seems in this area, Lampard had a few L's and a few W's. That one W is Joe Edwards will be leaving us to, of course, work under Frank Lampard at Everton. Good luck to him. Highly respected, highly rated, amazing coach, did amazing things with the academy as well too. It's nice to see that he is progressing in his career. However, the L that Lampard took is that Anthony Barry has committed his future with us. He rejected the opportunity to sign for Everton, and for me personally, this was the best decision that Barry could make. Now, Lampard originally enticed Anthony Barry away from Wigan to sign for us, and honestly, you guys, where would we be without him? Like, I remember life before Anthony Barry, where maybe the pressing was a bit off point, the set pieces were basically non-existent, and life now with Barry, where would we be without some of these set piece goals? You know how clutch these goals have been in helping us win games, get back into games, etc, etc. So it's great that Tuchel has persuaded this guy to stay at the club because he has a very big important role with this team. Still getting back to Frank Lampard, we've got some more insight behind maybe some of the mistakes that Lampard himself admits to whilst he was our manager. He does admit to the fact that maybe the way he handled the experienced players could have been done a lot more tastefully, maybe it's the wrong words, but could have been done a lot better. It could have been improved upon. Maybe players who are outside of the team as well, you could have communicated with them a lot better because, of course, you need to have your full squad behind you if you want to compete. And that's one of the first things that Tuchel did when he signed for us. Any of the animosity players have for each other was literally out the window. He told them straight away, I want you guys to show a public and united front. They did that, and I guess maybe Tuchel watches a lot of anime because, that anime trope of the power of friendship really came through for us last season, and I don't think we would have won the Champions League if players were still beefing behind the scenes. It seems like Jody Morris won't be linking up with Lampard again. Now, they're very close, they're boys. However, Lampard decided against reuniting with him because he felt like, due to how close their relationship was at the club, maybe it meant that was impacting his instincts and his assertiveness because it was reported that he would turn to Morris a lot to get that second opinion. But sometimes in moments like this are like the highest level in very competitive environments. You need to be assertive and quick and know exactly what to do to handle situations. So I guess this is where the lack of experience had come into play at times. So I guess all I can say is good luck to Frank Lampard. This guy was a Chelsea legend. I was watching this guy as a kid week in, week out at the bridge every single time, and I'm always going to have the utmost respect for him. People would say that I had a lot of bias towards him. I honestly just ignore that shit completely. You know what it was, yeah? It was the fact that it got to a point where Lampard became so unpopular that even the good things he was doing, people found a way to criticize that. And you guys know I'm about balance. Yeah, certain things you can criticize, but not everything. For me, this guy was our Ranieri. He built those foundations. This is what I've been trying to sell the entire time. He built those foundations. He introduced the young guys into the team. He accelerated their progression. He introduced intensity in training, intensity in pressing, which made it easier for Thomas Tuchel to then work on those same things tactically. And how can we forget the amazing players he signed for us like Thiago Silva and many, many more? We still got into cup finals under him. He still secured us Champions League football, the same Champions League football in which we won the tournament the season afterwards. So for me, it's just a bit crazy just how quickly he got disrespected, and I don't know why, and I don't agree with it. So right now, you guys, we now move on to the big story today. Now, I was expecting a crazy 48 hours. And I got exactly what I was bargaining for. From reports that Dembele was set to sign for Paris Saint-Germain, to him now only wanting to sign for us next summer. How did we get here? Well, you guys, let me explain. Now let's start with Paris Saint-Germain, as they have been in contact alongside us and Man United over the availability of Dembele in this window. Now many, respected publications in France, L'Equipe, Foot Masata, and of course journalists like Santi JFM all reported that Barcelona had found an agreement with Dembele and he was set to sign for them in this window, even potentially in the summer. I guess a lot of you guys thought that the dream was over and that we had no chance in hell of now signing Dembele. Well, not quite. Remember, reports stated that Paris Saint-Germain had found an agreement with Dembele, not an agreement with Barcelona. We know that it's one of the easiest things to, get that wage demand sorted out for players. We've seen it ourselves time and time again, and when you examine the story in greater detail, it seemed like Paris Saint-Germain were finding ways to get this deal done in this window. Of course, there are difficulties. They have an abundance of attacking players. So straight away, I was kind of thinking to myself, how would this deal necessarily make sense? Why would Dembele feel comfortable to sign for Paris Saint-Germain when you've got Messi, Neymar, Mbappe in front of you? Unless they're going to do a madness, but then I feel like Paris Saint-Germain have way too many attacking players to begin with. I don't think Pochettino needs any more tactical headaches. So this was really puzzling me. So thank God reports came out a few hours later, just confirming my suspicions to begin with. Things weren't quite as they seemed, and the reality was it was actually Barcelona acting as that assertive party, trying to find a club for Dembele to sign for in this window. We know that they need to get this guy off their books. The wages he's on, it's not good for them. They need to reduce that so they can sign players to bring additions to the squads. And it was Barcelona hoping to do a player swap deal, and Mauro Icardi was a player that was being linked as part of this player swap. During their negotiations with Paris Saint-Germain, no money was actually put on the table. Only player swap proposals were offered. Honestly, you guys, I look at Barcelona and I just kind of shake my head. I mean, you want to offer a player like Dembele to Paris Saint-Germain, the same Paris Saint-Germain that signed Neymar for a world record fee, that signed your greatest player in your history in Lionel Messi, and now you want to give them Dembele for free for a player swap for Icardi, the same Dembele which was your record signing to replace Neymar. I mean, wow, just talk about being down bad. I mean, Barcelona are literally the embodiment of that word at this point in time. Anyway, more reports came out suggesting that Dembele wasn't even keen on a return back to Ligue 1. And why is that? That's because Dembele wants to play in the Premier League next season, and the only club he wants to play for is Chelsea FC. You're hearing that right, you guys. Chelsea FC is the club he wants. And getting on to us, yeah, of course we held talks with Barcelona, but the reality was that with the abundance of attacking players we have in our squad right now, it would have been ridiculously hard to offload anyone at this point in time. And you have to just see it like this. I mean, technically, of course, we have the money to get a deal done right now, but how many reports have there been over attacking players not being happy due to their lack of minutes and how they're being used? Can you imagine how tense the situation would become if Dembele was added to this? I mean, it wouldn't work out at all. And with the ambitions we have for the end of this season, we can't afford to have a squad that's not United's and a squad that's starting to feel a bit unhappy. The reality is we couldn't free up space for Dembele to come in this window, with next summer looming, with players likely to leave in your Pulisic and Timo Werner's, to be able to potentially, very likely sign Dembele on a free, just giving this guy agent fees and his wages. Ideally, Dembele prefers this because you get the maximum amount of money for yourself, and we would prefer this as well because we save a ton of money not paying for any transfer fees, and you can amortize the costs financially even easier. So honestly, you guys, it does seem like something's happening here, and don't even be surprised if we reach a pre-contract agreement with Dembele maybe within the next few months, because it seems like Thomas Tuchel will have the chance again to work with this former protege, and this guy is so good that all I need from him is at least 30 to 40 top games in a season, and then he can rotate the attack. I mean, that's what we should be doing, but getting a guy like this on a free. So you guys, how do you feel about the story? Are you gassed? Are you excited? And now we end things with the final story, and we discuss Harvey Vale. An article was reported by The Athletic in which they confirmed that originally Huddersfield Town wanted to sign Vale on loan in this current window. However, Tommy T rejected that and told Vale to remain with the squad because, you know, he's hoping to give him some minutes because he wants to use him as an option for the second part of this season. Okay then, I guess. Currently, Vale has 18 months left on his deal. You know what normally happens when players get near the end of their contracts. We get in like a little enticing stage, trying to tell the players, listen, we still believe in you. You know, you still have a future here. You know, don't leave us for nothing. You know, here's a few token minutes in the first team. That should be enough for you to get you to stay. It hasn't been the most effective strategy recently. I don't know how good it's going to be. And also, is this really the best thing for Vale's career? I mean, to get that first team exposure at 18 years old, you know, playing for a good team in the championship. We've seen time and time again, you have one good half season in that league, and you've got Prem clubs calling you, they're literally bailing up your line throughout the entire summer periods. I don't know why that was denied to him, just so Vale can be used as a sub in the Club World Cup. I mean, let's be realistic. And I said the same thing about Gilmour, and I'm right, and I'm sure I'm going to be right again. With how make or break this stage of the season is, with trophies to win for and compete. How often do managers even rotate like that anyway? They don't do that. You know, for me, Tuchel's probably thinking, at least I can maybe use this guy for a bit, maybe in Feb during like these really, really easy games. And then after that, I can forget about him, and then he'll be the club's problem from next summer. I know I'm being a little bit cynical, but I just don't really understand why he would get him to stay when we all know he's not going to be playing like that. I mean, most attacking players aren't even getting in the team as it is. And Vale, for me, I don't want this guy playing wing back. I mean, we have someone like Lewis Hall that can do that regardless anyway, and guys like Reece James are coming back soon. So, I don't know, I'm a bit disappointed by this. I think a loan would have been spectacular for him because here's the reality, yeah? We produce so much talent that the moment you have one slow season or miss one opportunity, there's always someone behind you that will come and take your place. That's how it works at this level, you guys. Let's see what happens. I hope that we do see maybe Vale getting a few more minutes because he really is just too good to be playing at the level he's playing in right now. So you guys, on that note, that is the first video out of the way for today. I hope you guys enjoy. Expect there to be more content coming out, so have those bell notification buttons on. I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.